All right, what's up, y'all? It's Glago Sama 2. And don't mind the hat. I got a haircut and I don't like it. So you're gonna have to deal with the hat until it grows in. Usually when I get cuts, like it takes like a couple of days for it to like settle in, you know what I'm saying? Then it starts looking good. Then I start looking crispy, and I start looking good and shit. You know what I'm saying? But today we got a more serious video. And I don't know if y'all familiar with the whole MrBeast situation, but you know what I'm saying. His little bestie, he got caught up talking to little kids, and a whole bunch of other stuff that got revealed. You got the YouTuber here, Oompaville. He actually he actually interviewed one of the ex MrBeast employees who exposed MrBeast for faking some of his vids.
I have a bunch of questions. Firstly, I apologize if in my video, I'm not sure how much of it you saw, if you saw all of it, if I unreasonably dismissed certain points, which I definitely absolutely did, but I would like to apologize. And I have no excuse other than I should have re-recorded a large part of that video before I posted it, because it's like a 3-day turnaround for all my videos. And it's just, your video is an interesting pill to swallow for sure. It's very, very, very interesting. And a lot of it's like, I'll ask you some questions. So firstly, I'd like to say that I'm sorry, genuinely. And I'm not one to apologize for just no reason at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't even expect you to apologize. I mean, I watched your video and like, maybe it's because I've watched your content before and I know you're sort of a MrBeast defender.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple. I don't know if y'all know who this is or if y'all seen his vids, but I've seen a couple of them, and usually he talks about MrBeast and he's kind of sucking his dick a lot of the time. And I mean, I didn't mind it. I didn't really give a shit. It's not really my I don't know what to say. It's not really my business. You should probably watch this dude's video, Dog Pack. I think it's down here. You should watch his video, and we'll pull it up. You guys should watch this video. It's a long one. It's about an hour, but it gives insight onto kind of like an ex-employee of MrBeast, and all the allegations that he put upon him.
Expecting, it was pretty much on par with what I expected, I guess.
Okay,
and I thought it was
got me
fair.
Okay, see, that's what I was trying to do. See, I was trying to be fair. I generally, I'm now the MrBeast apologist on YouTube though.
Yeah. Well, I think every creator is.
That's true, but I don't want to be.
Or imagine being known for sucking MrBeast's dick on YouTube.
I want to be honest though. I want to have good faith. I don't want to be right. I just want to be honest. And if my intent is not matching with the information that I have in front of me, and like there's some crazy level of cognitive dissonance, it needs to be made clear. So that's the whole point of this. Hopefully, we'll be able to
address your cognitive dissonance.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna say bury the hatchet, but that's nonsense. All right, so I got a list of questions here. Did you ever get to meet Mac? Are there numerous employees like Mac who have won prizes, or is Mac the main guy? Have you ever met anyone else?
I have met Mac.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all know what he's talking about, but Mac is I don't know if y'all know him from the Airac channel. Mac is that white guy with blonde hair, and he actually separated from the Airac channel. I don't know if y'all know the beef or the drama that Airac is in right now, but he also got exposed for faking his videos, among other shit. He's kind of an asshole. But yeah, Mac joined the MrBeast team, and then all of a sudden he started appearing in videos, and it was just kind of like weird because you know they were making it seem like Mac was just kind of there, like as like a friend, and like winning a lot of money, but in reality he was actually an editor of MrBeast, and he was already rich to begin with. So a lot of the videos where he was winning $100,000, or like there was a lot of stake online, on the line, they weren't genuine, which just kind of it's a weird, but it's not the worst allegations, but it's definitely weird. Something to look into.
I remember, like, I don't know if you know how I got hired, but I had posted, I sent them my job application, but they also like don't usually respond. So I also posted it on the Reddit, and then someone had contacted me. But in that job application, which is public, I'm like detailing all these ways that like faking videos is bad or whatever, in my opinion. And I use like Mac as a reference, and then I get to the company.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too.
Don't can I watch a goddamn video without Amazon. 50 ads?
And it's like my first day, and I just see Mac in the hallways, and I'm like, the fuck? They know he worked here.
Interesting. So he was kind of like a surprise. Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, do you think they didn't do any research into you first, or do you believe that they did not care?
Well, my first manager, I think I sort of slipped through the cracks.
Okay.
Because my first manager left, like he put in his 2 weeks notice the second day that I was at the company.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's a whole thing. But
So the main thing that you've claimed,
It's kind of crazy, like a YouTuber having like managers and all that shit. To me, it's kind of surreal because it's like YouTube is YouTube. Like motherfuckers used to just make videos at their house, but they got like whole companies and warehouses and managers and employees and shit. But it's not really a point.
really in well, there's two kind of like big points that are really egregious in my opinion in all of your claims, and that is number one, the illegal lottery thing. That's bad. Okay, that's like objectively bad. That's a crime. That's fraud. Nobody should do that. Secondarily, the big thing is like that people have said for so long is that his videos are faked, and like the extent of which they are faked. Do you think that some of the philanthropy channel videos are like faked? They're obviously a different thing because it's all for good. Like, what is your stance on the philanthropy aspect of the MrBeast industrial complex?
it's hard to go into the philanthropy.
Uh, my bad for stopping it so much, but I wanted to stop right here to explain some of it. So he got exposed for like lottery, and illegal lottery, and that exploits children, not only children but just people that are vulnerable, and it's just not cool to do that. um he was like on live saying, oh, if you buy a shirt right now, you'll get it signed and you'll get like $100, or you'll get this and that, you'll get an iPhone, and that's just not okay. Like, it's not okay at all. That's a lottery. And if he was actually lying about that type of stuff, then yeah, he's cooked. He's fried. My bad, y'all. I had to grab my cat because she being difficult, knocking shit over in the kitchen and shit. Um, let's get into it. Are you gonna stay in my lap? You gonna stay in my lap? All right, go ahead.
Right now because that's kind of what I'm investigating.
Okay.
And
She's
I've
not staying in my lap.
received DMs from people who I have verified as MrBeast employees, claiming different ways in which they're sort of fluffed up, and it's sort of a
Okay.
controlled narrative. Like, I'll give one example, which is a DM I received about somebody saying that when he healed 1,000 blind people,
Yeah.
many of those people were going to get the surgery for cheap or for free, regardless.
Okay.
And he maybe like expedited the.
That's low key crazy information because it's like if they were already gonna get it for free, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that because it's like, what do you mean? Like, was their healthcare gonna cover it for them anyways? But he just kind of went in there and said, "Oh, I got it for them anyways." I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff when it comes to like medical stuff, like taxes and paying things off. Like, there's a lot of triumph when it comes to that type of stuff. So let's just pray and hope that he genuinely didn't do that. But if that's true, I don't know if that's the end of the world. But I'm sure he has more stuff to say. So let's just let him keep talking.
Process or something,
So
but then he sort of claims full credit for it.
yeah, so it's not to say that it's like totally necessary. Like, you're not trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's more so just like for the sake of transparency, right? Like, this man is claiming all these things. He should be able to be 110% transparent. Like, you shouldn't spin facility. Go ahead.
Yeah, the logic there, I think that the company would respond if it was like 100% undeniable that they fluffed things up. Is like, okay, well, we're fluffing it up for entertainment value so that the
Right.
video gets more views, we get more ad revenue. Like most of the 501c stuff, it's legitimate. I'll say that. Like, it's not to discredit his charity work, but sometimes there's like the charity is being used to fund certain interests. I've also heard like he was exposed for trashing a beach. Essentially, this was like a controversy a while ago, but it didn't get much attention. And I've heard that it was the philanthropy side of the business that actually went and cleaned up the beach instead of like his production company. So it's like that could be shady,
Interesting.
but
Right,
yeah.
right. Huh. Yeah, because that's where my biggest kind of like problems lie with all this stuff is the lack of transparency from like business dealings intrinsically. Because it's cool to have someone be honest and everything when you're running a business, but like from the creator side of it, to be as successful as he is, or to be as successful really as any, you have to do things occasionally that are immoral, but you don't have to use your charity company to claim a beach that you messed up. And like, you don't have to make the claim about the candy being healthy, the 5-in-1. Like, you don't have to do all those things, but like it's like, well, it's for entertainment, so that's my scapegoat. That's why I don't need to be transparent. It's an invalid defense.
Yeah, and those are just allegations that have been messaged. So I haven't really dug super deep into it, which is why I haven't made any definitive statements on anything.
And looking
Yeah, so all these things that he's saying right now are allegations and not definitive. His video has more allegations that I think probably are more definitive because he did his own research. He seems like a very like intelligent person. I feel like he knows what he's talking about, and on top of that, he actually worked for Mr. Beast. but soon I think they start talking about the uh when or one of MrBeast's employees defending MrBeast and going against Dog Pack's claims. But I don't know when that it should start soon.
Is there anything that, from your first video that
Dad, stop
you
knocking
sort of
shit
want
over.
to amend, or do you have like, are you 110% sure you're justified and validated?
Or do you want to just go through Chucky's tweet or no?
Yeah, I can
Okay,
go ahead and go through
see, he's
Chuck's
about to
tweet.
start
Like,
to
as
going
far
through it
as
right now.
the claims of like selling fake signatures, rigging contest videos, and illegal lotteries, obviously, like I think those
Yeah.
claims are legitimate, and I stand 100% by them. You know, they just took down the 5-hour live stream on their Facebook page,
Right.
so I feel like
That
that's sort
validates
of an
it.
acknowledgement.
Dang, that's crazy. So if y'all don't know, they had a 5-hour live stream on Facebook, and Dog Pack said that that was an illegal stream, or an illegal lottery, where they were fake signing Mr. Beast's signature on shirts. Like there was evidence of Mr. Beast's team signing for Mr. Beast as Mr. Beast, which is fraud. And they had clips of that live stream where Mr. Beast would be like, "Oh, if you buy in like 5 minutes, your shirt will come in with $100 or iPhone or something like that." I know I was talking about it earlier, but yeah, it's kind of fucked up because it's like, bro, like if I had like a little brother that was an idiot, like a little sister that's watching that, has little mommy's credit card, just goes in there and fucking website and just starts buying shit thinking that they're gonna make the money back. Like that's just not how shit works, not how life works, you know what I'm saying? And if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So I think that's definitely fucked up. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think anybody should be doing that, especially take advantage of your child audience. And Mr. Beast has a kid audience, and on top of that, his audience like believes in him like genuinely. Like they think that he's a good man. So it's just it's not okay to be doing that, especially with the image that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can
And
go through like Chucky's specifics that he called me out on because he cherry picked the worst arguments in the video, obviously, and even these, like I don't think his rebuttals are great, and he didn't really provide any evidence.
okay, so I've got Chucky's tweet here. He said, "You won't get in a video unless your family or friends are with someone that works at Beast Inc." And then I can just put his statement on screen. You already know his statement. We don't need to go through the whole thing. But
Yeah, so in that instance, I don't know what he's quoting. He's putting things in quotation marks, but I never said that. Like
Yeah.
you watched my video, you know that
yeah,
I
he didn't
said.
say that. Yeah.
So just straw man argument, and then the train track with CGI, bus wheels or CGI, pit is fake. That's probably his best rebuttal.
Mhm.
However, when that video came out, train versus pit, Jimmy received a lot of criticism about using CGI in that video, and I can send you some screen caps. Like he was denying it in YouTube comments and on Twitter. Like they say, "Oh, it was never a secret," but it's like, well, when you're being criticized for using CGI, why are you not openly acknowledging it? Again, not a big claim in my video.
What about the raccoon?
Raccoon was it's much worse than
Oh,
being a
shit.
paid actor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a domestic raccoon that they brought to the set, and they're like sort of treating it like a prop. They're putting it in the ceiling and then pretending like they just discovered it.
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's a scene where somebody off camera takes the raccoon and like throws it onto the bed. And I'm sure you could pull this clip out. The edit is very strange because there's a zoom in and pan up, so it like hides the fact that the raccoon is going on the bed. But what it's really doing is hiding the fact that someone's throwing the raccoon. And then there's a voiceover in post of Jimmy saying, "Oh man, the raccoon just ran in the hotel or whatever," and they're like screaming at it and shit. So it's like almost, I wouldn't say animal abuse, but like it's kind of borderline mistreatment when you're just like using it as a prop and then
Yeah, that's
scaring
weird.
it for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
It's a strange article.
you're gonna do all that effort to just not admit that the island was $28 instead of $1 or $800 instead of $1.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, who cares? Yeah. Like why would you defend that so heavily? Like, yeah, we did it for a video. Of course, it's not that big of a deal. The video got a lot of views, but that's like the whole thing is like he's building up this massive empire. It's all predicated on the generosity, the genuine nature, the philanthropy, the transparency. That's what it's all that is like the main thing.
Yeah, it's just like weird that not weird, but it's just kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You can't build up that image of like being like a philanthropist and being like a great guy and always honest and never fakes anything if you're gonna like take advantage of kids. Like
Holding all this up, so it has to be the criticism for that has to be acknowledged.
Yeah, I don't know if I can speak to this. I think him saying "How on earth would you know" is like baiting me into giving confidential information, like breaking my NDA or whatever. Because actually, people think that I broke my NDA, but like 90% of that video is public information, and then like the other 10% is about crimes. It was like it was pretty decently strategic. I don't think they would have a case, and like I've spoken with lawyers and everything. So, oh yeah, I didn't tell you I got a cease and desist.
From Beast.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
You can put that up. I can send that to you.
Yeah, dude. Satan, Lord of Darkness.
Yeah, I mean, shit, if they didn't have anything to hide, there's no reason to be giving cease and desist letters to this guy right here. It just kind of makes them look more guilty, and it's just really weird, dude.
Revenge storyline added in post.
Yeah, 100% is added in post. 100%.
Okay.
There's a clip of Jimmy in an interview with John Ushai or whatever, and he says, "Oh, this is why he got out," or I don't know, maybe he did get out just because he didn't know or he thought no one else stepped out, and like that's the truth of the matter. Like, who cares? Again, he's just addressing points. It's like, even if I prove that it was fake, I feel like a lot of people in the Twitter comments are then like, "Well, who really cares that the island cost $28?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, you're right.
That's me.
It's
That's
not about them. Yeah, it's not about it's. Yeah, it's just about them covering it up to such an extreme degree that they can't admit to one little thing.
Yeah, and to be honest, too, I don't feel like this doesn't feel like as much of an attack as I thought it was on day one. Like, it's genuinely just like you need to be held responsible. These are all valid criticisms. Like, there's this is not in bad faith. This is good faith, and it's for kids. Like, that's 3 days on, or however many days it's been. That's where I'm at with the whole thing. Whereas day one, I was like, eating my. Were the results of the video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers?
Yeah, upper echelon posted a whole video almost exclusively about this claim, and he goes into like case law about how he blatantly rigged the results of a challenge and how that could be illegal.
Okay.
Yeah, his point is basically like, why does the world's largest game show with the highest viewership not have to follow traditional regulations?
It's a good to send you a cease and desist for any of this. That's what I don't understand. Like, if it's all stuff that people talk about, like, you're not being like, MrBeast is the Antichrist. Well, maybe a little bit, but like, at the same time, who cares, right? That's something.
Yeah, I cut that part out from the video.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that part. I watched it minute one. Like, literally, I think it had maybe 30,000 views when I watched it, and I don't remember when that was. But it's interesting. It's really interesting. Like, why? I don't know.
Yeah, my point wasn't that he is the Antichrist, but I wanted to basically say, people at the company speculate that he is the Antichrist, but then it's like, that's total hearsay. I have no evidence of that.
People at the own company do?
Yeah. I mean, he's in the Bible Belt, and it's like people sort of joking, feeling around ideas is the impression I get from it. It's like one girl talked to me about it, like explaining her theory in detail, actually referencing Bible verses and shit. And I'm not Christian. I don't know any of this. And it seemed like she was looking for me to sort of offer her like,
look, all I'm gonna say is, bro, if your employees think you the Antichrist genuinely and are showing evidence, then we should definitely be looking into you.
Comfort or validation to be like, nah, that's crazy or whatever.
Interesting. Wow, that is very funny. Imagine walking around in your organization and there are people who work for you who think you might non-ironically be the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Dude, no wonder this video did well. People are thinking it. It's just a thing.
Oh, yeah. I have so many former employees in my DMs that are like agreeing and like even some that obviously everybody wants to be anonymous. People who are in the videos in the past, like, that are known.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Chandler?
No. But if he reads Book of Revelations tomorrow on his TikTok, holy shit.
Also, I think some of the MrBeast giveaways are fake. Did they fake giveaways, you think?
I think some of them just kind of slip through the cracks, or it's like, you're giving away 1,000 phones, maybe one producer, they want one for their nephew or something. No one's like actually regulating. It's not like the FTC is watching over their shoulder. So you can get away with some small things here and there. But mostly the giveaways are legit.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing too. It's like, if you're predicating your brand on this is the giveaway thing, you don't have the inch of wiggle room to just give a phone to a producer. You don't have that thing. If it's like once a year, whatever, but no, yeah, that's MrBeast. Like, it's a totally different thing. Like, the PNC, the company that gives away those or Publishers Clearinghouse or whatever, the people who give away those checks all the time and people win the lottery and all that stuff. If someone in that company were to be giving money to someone outside the rules of the law, they would get destroyed and be seen 100% bad faith and go to jail probably via the FTC. So it's like, rules for thee, but not for me, because MrBeast is a pioneer and a trailblazer.
Oh, actually, referring to giveaways, I do have new evidence of like potentially another legitimate crime, which is that I talked about the golden ticket giveaway for the Willy Wonka video and how one of those tickets went to a YouTuber called Della Vlogs. There was another former employee DM'd me on Twitter, and he told me that there's another contestant in that video who his name is Justin, and he's Ava Chris Tyson's cousin. If they have some explanation, like maybe the contestant dropped out or something, they replaced him with him, then they could be fine. But like in a sweepstakes.
Yo, now that's crazy info. Cause that ruins like a lot of shit. Like, people genuinely think that they can like get into one of these videos, but whole time they just like selecting like cousins and uncles and nieces and dogs and cats and shit. Like, just definitely not genuine.
If he actually won a gold ticket, which is what the employee is telling me, then that's completely illegal because you have to disqualify your family members
Right.
of employees. So
That's interesting. When is your second video coming out?
well, I gotta talk to my lawyers.
Oh shit. You gotta talk to your lawyers, and you gotta get more mushrooms. More mushrooms. Is that what Chunky said? That explains your erratic behavior.
Yeah, my erratic behavior. He also said like I only worked at the company for a month. Sort of deceptive. I mean, I was contacted by the company back in February 19th, and then February 22nd, I signed a non-disclosure agreement and I started working with the company. It's just unpaid, whether you call that like a trial or training or whatever. But then I got to Greenville March 10th, and there was just like with the CEO or whatever to like sign the paperwork apparently.
Okay.
So that's why March 25th, 15 days after I arrived in Greenville, is when I officially started the 90-day contract. And then after I got fired, April 19th, the day that I got fired, one of MrBeast's oldest YouTube friends, like known him since 10K subscribers, he called me and he said that he wanted to hire me, but he had to ask MrBeast first, like MrBeast Corporation, for permission because his company, one of their clients is MrBeast. And MrBeast Corporation didn't say like, oh, don't hire him, he's erratic. And then after I got hired by his company, I was again doing work for MrBeast, and I was like in contact with people at MrBeast.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's just weird how they want to like paint him as like some weird mushroom having fucking junkie when he tries to go and expose them.
Time to ensure the integrity of what he does, and I hate to see it come to question with a bunch of lies. Dawson, if you leave this up, then you're a hypocrite. Do you think that is a true statement? How much control does MrBeast actually have? How much do you think you can blame these things that, it's MrBeast? That's it. It's him. How much can you blame on the people around him reasonably? Not saying you ever should. He is the face and the name and the main guy he's going to be extracting the most from this, so he should be able to take the responsibility of all the faults and criticisms, etc. But if you were to be as fair as you possibly could and even play devil's advocate, what would you say percentage wise? What's MrBeast's fault? What is not?
Yeah, no, I actually like play with this idea and speculate a lot. Like, okay, if Jimmy was fully innocent, how could he get into this position? And it'd be like, you hire people who do bad things, and then they use those bad things as like blackmail cards against you. So like maybe somebody pressured him really hard into selling fake signatures, and now that they know that he sold fake signatures, it's harder to fire them in case they go to Time Magazine. Like concept called like blackmail inflation. So I don't know. Anything could be possible. MrBeast could be completely innocent. I've seen some behaviors and things that make me think that he's not, like what I told you privately in DMs and everything. But yeah, so I don't know, 50-50. It's called 50-50.
So that's where I'm kind of at as well, because I have...
Yeah, I feel like it's 50-50 because like I was talking about earlier, it's just, he's a guy, like he's a human being, bro. Like at the end of the day, he's just a person. That don't mean any of the shit that he does is okay, but he's a person, so he's gonna do people shit, and people do fucked up shit.
Some character references. See, after seeing everything that you've said, right, I feel like even in spite of character references and in spite of like low IQ, he's a philanthropist type defenses, which I do think is very important. I think the overall good.
What y'all think about my cut though? Like, y'all fuck with it? I don't know. I'm gonna get a fade soon too. Like on Saturday.
Like with all the character references that I've gotten, it's about 50-50 in that I know people very personally who have spent a lot of time with him and they love him. And I know people and they think he's like a genius and like a visionary and he really does bring a lot of people up, et cetera, et cetera. And then I know people who are like, that guy is not a human being. That guy, like he gambles all day long. Like shit like that, I've heard people say. Total hearsay. I don't know if that's true or not, but the people who have said it.
I didn't know he was a gambler. That's random info.
I would believe them. Not enough to where I'm going to make an entire video about it, but it boils down once again to a 50-50 thing, which is I think why it's so important to talk about all this stuff, because I believe that your argument is in good faith. And I think talking about this point specifically for someone like me, that really reinforces my belief that what you're saying, the things that you're saying are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee. If you are rightfully so disgruntled employee.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee, but the evidence still speaks for itself.
Of course, yeah. It
That's
really
what I was
does.
that video is like sort of remove. They'll go as deep as they can. Again, I don't specifically know that Jimmy's like super into that. I've heard him say on podcasts, hey, we do study psychology or whatever. But I think when he's saying we, it might be like, okay, this department at the company studies psychology.
So did you ever observe any examples of that in the ideation process?
Yeah, but if we got into specifics, I'd have to cut it.
Okay, yeah, but okay, I got you. Trust me, bro. I trust you. I do believe you. Yeah, because that's where it starts to get really, really, really bizarre and strange. And the marketing is pretty much always bad. Do you have any example about the Rosanna Pansino thing and like the whole Amazon games, all that stuff coming out now? Because there's just like, ever since Ava Tyson happened, there's been so many different little strings of what's going on. What are your feelings about all that?
When I first arrived at the company, there had recently been a Time magazine article published with like a video and stuff. They came and interviewed him at the studio. I heard lots of stories about that interview and everything. And there was multiple employees in that Time magazine piece that were sort of whistleblowing against safety, like OSHA violations and everything at the company. Which then like the reporter came to the studio. Apparently, Jimmy thought it was going to be like maybe Time Person of the Year or whatever.
Yeah, fluff piece.
And then this reporter started asking questions about safety, and you can actually see in the video Jimmy kind of has to awkwardly kick her out halfway through the interview. And then apparently because she was asking about safety and they'd already spoken to former employees. So I don't know. I hadn't witnessed anything personally because I was on pre-production, but I had heard through the grapevine lots of stories about poor safety practices. So it wasn't unexpected at all, to be honest, like Beast Games, especially because originally they wanted it to be 5,000 contestants, and they wanted it to be like getting down to, so this is for episode 0, which would be on MrBeast's YouTube channel, 5,000 contestants down to 1,000. And my job to come up with ideas, what challenges can you do with 5,000 people and whatever the budget is that are safe and entertaining? There's not many. So they wanted to just have a giant dice, essentially, eliminate people. Like people that they said, hey, take 3 months off work, fly here, and then just get eliminated by a giant dice, which they didn't end up doing that, luckily. I thought they were when they went to Vegas, but well, maybe they should have done that because what ended up happening was a bloodbath.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And I have people in my DM saying that they had got into Beast Games, they got the email that they were accepted and everything, and then they were ghosted last second. So I'm thinking that the decision to go from 5,000 to 2,000 might have happened last second. And there's like
that MrBeast pays YouTubers to apologize for him. Do you think that their team goes out of their way to silence people or hush people? Is it like a big cabal?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the instance. Like I think most likely Keemstar is probably bought. And I think there's a lot of other YouTubers who are like,
That's awesome.
like Ludwig or whatever. Not to call anybody out. There's like every single YouTuber who was probably in that 50 YouTuber video. There's some rapport. There's some. Jimmy's well aware of the law of reciprocity that like if you give to someone, they're more likely to give to you. So I understand why big commentary YouTubers didn't pick this up earlier, or why some still won't, and yeah, that's fine.
Well, I would like to think of
YouTube is financially incentivized to do is they've essentially commoditized attention, and it's like mostly children's attention. And people think of attention as like this passive thing, like it's just passive observation. It's which direction your head is facing at any given moment. That's where your attention is. But especially for children, it's like more involved in their development. So I think what YouTube is financially incentivized to do is 1, get as much attention as possible, but 2, what people don't understand is transform that intention so that's more valuable to advertisers. It's like you're cultivating a crop. It's like, oh, this potato is better because it's more consumeristic. But what MrBeast is doing is effectively teaching his audience to be more consumeristic by like constantly reinforcing the idea that happiness comes from spending money and buying products. That's why it's like those creepy thumbnails where it's the kid smiling at the credit card. From that equation, like over the future, what will happen is AI content will just continue to eat all the market share away from human creators. And then obviously AI doesn't have morals. So it's like that's a very scary dystopian future.
That's what it feels like. That's what MrBeast content for me has felt like for years. AI content, like for children. Like there's no way you watch a MrBeast video and it's just like, how do we watch this? Like, what is this shit? It just doesn't feel like a real thing. I remember.
I think they just kind of gap for the rest of this. And if y'all want to watch this video yourselves, watch the full thing. I'm going to leave the video down below, and I'm going to leave his channel down below. Y'all should definitely check him out. Hoopaville. He's definitely a good YouTuber if you all, are into like commentary channels that like cover everything. And he's pretty genuine. He covers a lot of stuff. He never really holds back. It's kind of like his first controversy of like holding back. And then he responded with bringing in MrBeast's biggest op. So yeah, he's definitely a good YouTuber. Y'all should check him out. But that's enough for me. It's Glocko Sama 2. Usually I do game, but I decided to switch it up today. If y'all got any games y'all want me to play, any FNAF fan games, let me know. Comment down below. Peace, love. See ya.